Okay, so I promised I would come back when it was time to put the layer of epoxy on this over the drip and when I did the topper. So I'm going to put the cup on the turner. Maybe. And I have my stuff ready to do the drip. I have to get my epoxy mixed up yet, but that'll only take a second. I like to stuff some silicone straws in the mouth hole just as added protection. You guys have seen this before. These are like the silicone straw toppers that came off of metal straws. So that is that. I have my little faux ice cubes. I have a few ice cubes left. I'm getting dangerously low on cubes. I only have a couple of big ones left. And I did get my little knives in. So I'm going to have to decide which one I want to use. I think on this one I want to go with a traditional, nice big fat butcher knife. And to go with the Christmas side of things, I have some gingerbread men that I also got in the same order as these. But I don't like the color for it, so I think I'm going to use this big candy cane. These I got in a box like a year or two ago, so but I'm going to have to find more. So these are going to be my embeds on this one. That piece of straw I don't need, and I'm going to get my epoxy mixed up. Okay, so I'm ready to get the epoxy on this. There we go. Just a quick coat just to seal that. I may add one more coat just to make sure it's extra sealed, but just apply it like a normal coat. And I mean, the puff vinyl or the puff paint does kind of fall flat on a tumbler, so I'm not going over like a super thick layer here. But I did like the color this dried. I think it was perfect on this tumbler. I do think I prefer an epoxy drip, but I hate making red, especially. So I'm actually overall very satisfied with this. And I am using turbo, so I have very, very limited working time, and I would like to get the topper done with this mix. So we are working quickly. So I'm going to go back over to the other side and we will do the topper. Okay, so I'm going to start by just drizzling in a little bit of the turbo. And I'm going to use one of these little micro oh my gosh, they're like a Q-tip. Micro brushes, whatever you want to call them, to spread that around a bit. I'm going to put a couple of the bigger ice cubes in here because it's a deeper well. I don't like to make my toppers too tall. Personal preference. Do what you like to do. Do the look you like. I just don't like a huge, thick, heavy topper. And since it's not like it's a custom, I can do whatever I want, basically. So I'm going to use this to nudge this under there a little bit. And I'm going to stick another one here. So I'm going to drizzle on a little bit more. I'm going to put a couple more ice cubes in here and there. And I'm going to decide where I want my knife and my candy cane to go, because I don't want the blood spatter on the knife to completely disappear. So I'm going to set it right in there like that, and then I'll just stuff the candy cane in over here. And then I'm going to just drizzle whatever epoxy I have left mixed over the top of those items. I don't want to put too much on the knife because I don't want it to drip off the edge. But I like to seal any paint or anything that's on any embeds. So that's why I like to coat them. I like to make sure it's all as washable as possible. I'll do the same thing on the candy cane. Just spread it around some. And I do want to push this back a little bit. I feel like they're encroaching a tiny bit. So I'm going to let this dry. And then I'm going to just, I don't think I want to put any blood spatter on it. I think I like it just as is. I think if I start putting red on it, it's just going to get kind of yucky looking. So I'm just going to kind of fill in a little bit more. So that is going to be it for this one. I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to let the tumbler dry, and then we will take a look at it together. Okay, so I just cleaned my hands off, so they're a little damp and I don't want to touch this yet. This is done. I think it looks great. Looks nice and shiny, and I could see a little bit of the silver rim, so I do believe this is sealed well. This is hard. Kind of looking it all over, and I'm not seeing any void spots. So I'm going to pop these out, and that is how it will look completed. I think it's super cute. Absolutely love it. So that is it. Thank you for watching part 2 of the serial killer or Christmas movies, Slaying or Slayin, Tumbler.